did not go inside. The squadron waited while one of the stable boys brought his father's horse. Don Roberto mounted, and the squadron, with his father in its midst, started back down the trail toward the mission village a mile away. The boy moved as swiftly as he could, but it was slow going. There was only the one trail, and all his instincts told him to stay off it, so he made his way through the tangle of dry brush, hiding himself as best he could in the clumps of oak. He watched as the squad drew close to the mission, and for a moment his fear eased. Perhaps they were only taking his father to a meeting with the American commandant. No. The squadron passed the mission and continued another 100 yards down the trail to the enormous oak tree around which the village had originally been built. Under its mighty branches, Indians had camped for untold centuries before even the Franciscan padres had arrived. Suddenly, the boy knew what the squadron was going to do, and knew there was nothing he could do to prevent it. Nor could he leave. He had to stay, to watch. As his father sat straight in the saddle, one of the men threw a rope over the lowest branch of the tree, while another tied Don Roberto's hands behind his back. Then they led the black stallion under the tree and tied the free end of the rope around Don Roberto's neck. From his hiding place in the brush, the boy tried to see his father's face, but he was too far away, and the shade of the oak was impenetrable. Then one of the cavalrymen lashed the black stallion's flanks with a riding crop. The horse reared, snorting, and came stamping back to earth. A second later, it was over. The black horse was galloping up the trail toward the hacienda, and Don Roberto de Melendez y Ruiz's body was swinging under the embracing branches of the oak tree. The cavalry squadron turned, and at the same leisurely pace, started back up the trail toward the hacienda. The boy waited until the soldiers were out of sight before he picked his way the last 50 yards to the floor of the valley. He stared up into his father's face for a long time, trying to read in the eyes of the corpse what might now be expected of him. But there was nothing in the twisted grimace of pain or the bulging, empty eyes. It was as if, even as he died, Don Roberto still hadn't understood what was happening to him. But the boy understood. He turned and faded away back into the brush. It was late in the afternoon, and as the sun dropped toward the western horizon, long shadows began their march across the hilltops. Far away, the boy could see the beginnings of a fog bank forming over the ocean. Below him, the last of his family's servants were drifting out of the open gates of the hacienda, their meager belongings tied up in worn serapes, their eyes fixed on the brown earth, as if they too might be in danger if they so much as glanced up at the guards who flanked the courtyard gates. Against the inside of the western wall, still protecting herself from the fading heat, his mother sat calmly on her chair, her daughters flanking her, her fingers still occupied with her needlework. Every now and then, he could see her lips move as she offered words of farewell to the departing peones, but none of them replied. Only one or two even had the courage to nod toward her. Finally, the last of the servants was gone, and at a signal from their leader, the guards slowly swung the heavy gates closed. The officer turned to face Doña Maria, his words carried clearly up the hillside. "Where is your son?" "Gone," his mother replied. "We sent him away last week." "Do not lie, Doña Maria. He was seen yesterday." His mother's voice rose then, and the boy knew her words were for him, as well as for the man she faced. "He is not here, Señor. He has gone to Sonora, where he will be safe with our people." "We'll find him, Doña Maria." "No, you will never find him, but he will find you. We are not afraid to die, but you will not gain by killing us. We will not leave our land, Señor. My husband said we will stay, and so we shall. And you will kill us, but it will do you no good. My son will come back, and he will find you." "Will he?" the squadron leader asked. "Get up, Doña Maria." As the boy